He walked with us. He was obedient till death, and he did it because he loved you. That's the reality. If you don't want to accept that, that's up to you. You're going to have to give an account to God.
You might say, okay, do you believe Jesus was Son of God or God? Was he Son of God or was he God?
He's both.
He's both.
Yeah.
Or do you think God knows everything?
This Dawoist script is boring, brother.
No, it's not boring. Do you believe God knows everything?
Your people have put it in your brain, the same questions all day long.
No, it's not that.
And you're brainwashed, it seems.
Your brain is like...
Because you're repeating. Do you think it's a coincidence that I've heard all these questions before?
I'm saying you believe God.
Do you think it's a coincidence that I've heard all these questions before? You're just throwing out questions that you've been taught. Does he know everything? Listen, the fullness of deity, the full...
You're throwing question on me, so we're having a discussion.
Yeah, but the questions that you're asking me, they're literally word for word. They're literally word for word, the questions. Listen, we don't need to be petty about all the questions. The fact is, Jesus is God in flesh. So when you're saying about human, yeah, he took on human nature fully. So there was limitation.
When you say it's human, it's not God.
Why do you say that?
Oh, you said God took human form.
I put this jacket on. Am I this jacket?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. So
the form of human, was it God or not?
Of course he was God. Of course God knows everything.
Boy, Jesus didn't know a lot of things.
Because he was 100% human, and he didn't know. What do you mean he didn't know a lot of things? What do you mean he didn't know a lot of things? What do you mean?
He didn't know whether
the hour.
The tree has fruit or not. He didn't know the hour. We prostrate to God. If we worship to God,
he prostrated to God.
What's the truth of the Bible?
So what if he prostrated to the Father? And
it doesn't make sense that God will prostrate to God.
You're not listening, because I said to you that he humbled himself and he took on a form. So you're not listening because you want to talk.
Are you saying he was a human?
No, he took on flesh. So his origin is not human.
Okay, so he was...
Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. The human nature had a beginning.
It's like, the concept, the belief that
okay, let's put the human.
It doesn't make any sense.
Let's be honest.
Bible is full of corruption.
Wait, brother. Pause. Don't regurgitate. Don't vomit. Don't word vomit.
I'm just saying.
Let's put God nature to the side, because as humans, as humans, none of us are going to be able. You're still saying the same thing, and it's very boring. And you're stuck.
I'm not stuck.
For 1 second, but I've answered. I've been standing here for a long time with you, but you're stuck saying torture. You're still saying the same thing, and I've explained to you that God did not torture, but it was sinners that nailed Jesus to the cross. It's sinners like you and I that caused Jesus to be on the cross, but you're still saying torture. Stop with that nonsense and accept God himself did not torture Jesus. It's sinners, human sinners, that tortured Jesus. You're still not listening. You're still thinking about the next thing.
You got forgiven.
Listen, let's put that to the side. Do you believe in the 10 Commandments?
Israel, your Lord is Lord. Yeah, of course.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the 10 Commandments? Do you believe in the 10 Commandments?
I don't know.
You don't know?
The first one comes to the other one. Your Lord is one, not three. Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ.
We're talking about something else, and I'm talking to you about the 10 Commandments. So you shall have no other gods aside from you. You shall not take your Lord God in vain. Adultery. No, wait. We're talking about something a bit different, because the fact is we must not be arrogant to enforce that we understand God fully. We don't know God fully, and we can't say it doesn't make sense to us. Our minds are very limited compared to God. So I just want to put that over here for 2 seconds. I want to talk about something that we can relate to, i.e. the 10 Commandments. Now, you know
first commandment?
I believe in all of the commandments.
So what's the first commandment?
So, you know, I was the one that brought up the topic about 10 commandments. So let me complete my, let me land. So you believe in the 10 commandments, right? Including, you shall not have any other gods aside from me. You shall not commit idolatry. That is not have graven images. Yeah. You shall not take the Lord's name in vain. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet. Yeah, there's a couple. I want to focus on adultery. What is your understanding of adultery?
Adultery is clearly one. We know what means. Adultery is like doing stuff with someone. I know where you're trying to get. But there's adultery, right? You might bring the age of.
Okay, fine. No, never mind. Let me land then. So adultery then is if you have a married couple and one of them goes and basically has sex with someone that is not your wife or husband. That's what adultery is. You understand? Okay. So my position to you is, do you think then, if that's the definition of adultery, and the Bible teaches that a marriage is between one man, one woman, yeah? Do you think that having 4 wives is not adultery?
Right? With all of them. Because other times, surviving, like for a woman on her own was really, really hard. She couldn't like live by herself. Right? At that time. Like we're talking about 1400 years, like 7th century. You're a woman, you couldn't go out, make like your income, earning money, work. There was no work for women. How could you survive?
You never answered my question.
That's the speech of your answer. If you think about it.
God's commandment given to Moses, thou shalt not commit adultery. Adultery is when you have sex outside of marriage. A marriage is between one man and one woman. No, how many wives did Adam have? Okay.
How many wives? Over 800.
Multiples. He had multiple wives and multiple concubines. But do you think that is the same?
Is it right? Is it good? Is it just?
It's not right. But do you think that there is a difference between a king marrying a whole bunch of wives way down the line and the initial creation of God? That was the blueprint. God created the blueprint, which is Adam and Eve. Yeah? There's a difference between that, God's own hand, not creating Adam and 4 wives, or 3 wives, or 10 or 11, but 1. That was God's blueprint. That is different from Solomon, a human being having multiple wives. Huh? It's before Jesus, yeah. So do you understand my point? So God's blueprint was always Adam and Eve. This is what Jesus taught. He said that if you divorce your wife, I'm talking about
Adam and Eve, which is like the first human being.
But I'm talking about the blueprint. No. But what I'm saying is, well, of course, from Adam and Eve, then the corruption happened.
Of course, yeah.
Exactly. So naturally, as time goes on, there's going to be more corruption. We can go off topic all you like, but what I'm getting at is, there's one thing about the nature of God. We can argue all day long, and realistically, we're human beings. We can't understand God fully. But I'm not. We've given you, 3 people have given you information. But aside from that, what I'm getting at is, what about the 10 commandments that we can actually relate to clearly as human beings?
The first commandment Bible says, "Oh Israel."
And it also says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." And Jesus said, "You cannot divorce your wife unless of sexual immorality." And also, we know that death also breaks that covenant. But anything outside of that, you make your wife an adulterer. So it's completely contradictory to what Islam teaches.
What's your opinion?
Because you haven't answered the point. That has been the blueprint from the beginning. Jesus has said it's one man, one woman. Now in the Quran it says 4 women. Why are you allowing yourself to be an adulterer? 4 wives. I'm saying you theoretically.
Solomon in your Bible had like over 800 wives. What do you think of that?
That's a sin. That wasn't good.
So
But I will say at that time, and actually when you look at history, in terms of trying to build alliances, that happened a lot, where kings would marry with different people. But none of you lot are kings, I'm sorry to say. But in any case, it's still a sin. Oh, Siraj, please, man. It's always the same story. But what I'm getting at is that, you know what, we can argue all day long about the nature of God. As human beings, it's not possible that we're going to understand God fully. However, even if we look at the 10 Commandments and we look at, you know, the basic tenets that God gave us humans to adhere to, then we see actually there's a lot of contradictions in the Quran, and I use adultery as a perfect example. Adam and Eve were the blueprint, yeah? God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, to be fair, neither Adam and Latoya, Carmen, Joseph, you know, Adam and Eve, and Jesus reiterated that fact. Yet now here we come to the Quran, where you can have 4 wives, where you can divorce your wives, when actually a man can divorce his wife, and if he divorces her 3 times, they cannot be reconciled. The woman now has to go and get married, consummate the marriage before she can even come back to the husband. What's the wisdom in that? What's the point of that? It's corruption. So before you start thinking about the nature of God, first of all, acknowledge that you have sinned. Second of all, acknowledge that those bad deeds need to be accounted for. But also just look at the basic commandments that God gave and see if it aligns with Islam. It doesn't. I've spoken to the brother at length. He's thrown a lot of things, contradictions, and actually he didn't want to hear. All we can do is pray. Oh, he's coming back. Okay, fair enough. So Raj has taken him off to have a conversation. He did that to me last week as well. Oh well, it's a good time to start. I'm tired myself, but I don't know. Make me think about it. All we can do is sow the seed and try our best to, you know, defend our faith and give them answers. We don't know everything, unfortunately, but only God can give the increase. So we just say pray that He will come to Christ. God bless everyone.